Morning, fifth graders, or afternoon, or evening, whenever you're watching this video. One of the activities you have this week is the volume of rectangular prisms. So this is a rectangular prism. We would call it a box, or I don't know. It's made up of rectangle faces or square faces. A face is a side, so much like a dice. This has 6 faces. You can see 3 of them. And then there's 3 hidden ones. There's one underneath, one on this side, and then one in the back. So rectangular prisms are made up of 3 dimensions. This is why they're called 3D figures. They all have a length, which is measured from the left side to the right side. They have a width, which is measured from front to back. And then they have a height, which is from the bottom to the top. And that can be at any point where it's going up. Length is any part where it's from left to right, so that could be here, it could be here, and it could be in the back. Those are all the same. Width is anything that's running from front to back, so we have one there, we have one there, one here, and then there's another one in the back that you can't see. And volume of rectangular prisms is pretty easy. Once you identify the length, width, and height, the volume formula is length times width times height. So in the work that you have to do, you first have to figure out what is your length, what is your width, and what is your height. And those have to be for the ones that match. So like this is the length. So the length for this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The width would be 2, and the height would be 4. You can't switch those around because this is how the figure is facing. So again, length is from left to right, width is from front to back, and height is from bottom to top. Now, if this figure were to change position and be something like this, then those dimensions would change because now this is the front and you have left to right. This would be from front to back, and then this would be from top to bottom. So it really depends on how your figure is positioned. So in this one, we have 8 times 2 times 4. So the easiest way to do that would be to multiply these, and you could multiply them in any order. So even though it's 8 times 2 times 4, you could do 2 times 4 first, and that would be 8, and then 8 times 8 is 64. And what that means is this figure would have a total of 64 cubes in it that make it up. So today when you're working, you've got some figures that look a lot like this. You figure out your dimensions. Your dimensions are length, width, and height, and then you just multiply them together for your answer. So again, length is from left to right, width is from front to back, and height is from bottom to top. Length times width times height. And these would be measured in some form of measurement, whether it's centimeters, inches, yards, feet, miles. It could be any of those. So when you do your label, let's say each one of these was 1 centimeter. So 1 centimeter, 2 centimeters, 3 centimeters, 4 centimeters, 5 centimeters, 6, 7, and 8 centimeters. When you do your label, since you're multiplying 3 dimensions, you would cube your answer. So if I write this down real quick, volume equals length times width times height. It's 8 times 2 times 4, which equals 64. And then we would put centimeters with that exponent of 3, and that tells you that there were 3 different measurements multiplied together. So 64 centimeters cubed, or 64 centimeters to the 3rd power with that exponent. So best of luck today. Work hard. You've got lots of time to get your work done. No new work coming home on the 21st. So if you've got everything done, then you got a week off from me. Yay! And if you're still working, catch up, finish, so you have a few days off.